Hello everyone, welcome to the video where I'm going to give you a quiz to find out if you are healthy holistically. I'm going to walk you through my free quiz, which is actually called the Holistic Lifestyle Assessment. You can get this in printable version by signing up for my newsletter, and I will leave a link in the description to get that, and you'll also get all the other printables that I'm going to talk about in this video. So first of all, I'm going to explain the roadmap for how you go about making yourself holistically healthy if you are not. So after you take the quiz, you'll find out which way to go about it, because there's actually a certain order that you should do these in. So to be holistically healthy, you have to have a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a healthy soul. And while I believe that all three of these are important, I think that they each have their place in order when it comes to which one you should start with and which one you should finish with. So let's get right into the rest of this slideshow here. So the question is going to be, when you're starting, is how healthy is your life right now in this current moment? So you have to assess your life, your body, mind, and soul, and by doing that, like I said, you can go through the assessment that I provide you, but I'm also going to be talking right now about what's in the assessment. But if you want to do it physically on paper to keep track of your scores, which helps you figure it out easier, then like I said, you can download those printables and do that. So there are some questions on this assessment that are going to help you determine whether or not you are holistically healthy, and each of the questions you will answer if you never do the thing or if you do it all the time. So I'm going to quickly go through each of these questions and kind of explain so that if you are going to do this quiz, you'll know how to answer it. So the first question is, how often do you eat whole foods? And that basically means that whole foods would be non-processed foods, things like fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, and anything that is not in a box or a can. Some frozen stuff is okay. The next question is, how often do you cook your meals from scratch? And this goes along with eating whole foods. How often do you drink water? And this is crucial because we are made of water mostly, and we need to make sure that our water levels are balanced, because water actually helps all the systems of the body to work properly. So I have known people in my life that I don't think I've ever seen them take a sip of water and they did not have good health. How often do you choose organic foods? Organic is actually one of those things where you don't need to buy everything organic, but if you do, that's even better. But if you want to stick with just the dirty dozen, that is a good place to start if you can't afford to buy all organic. How often do you use herbs and spices? And those are good for you physically. They're also good to make your food taste better. So if you're cooking from scratch and you're cooking a lot of things that might not taste good, you're going to want to use herbs and spices. Do you exercise at least 4 days a week? That's the standard for what they usually suggest. Do you get enough sleep every night? Basically about 8 hours, 7 to 9, depending on your health, depending on your age. And do you use natural cleaning products? This is an important one because a lot of people overlook this. They think they can just control what they eat and that's enough, but that's not really enough, because the things that we clean with, and there's a couple questions down where it says, do you use natural hygiene products? That one as well. If you are putting things on your skin, you got to pay attention to what is in those. Do you sleep free of nearby electronics? This is pretty important because EMFs in the electronics can affect many people. You might not be affected by them, but if you are one of those people that is sensitive, it can really mess up your sleep and your mental health. Do you choose alternative healing modalities? That would only apply to you if you have gone through some kind of treatment or trying to heal yourself in some certain way. So that one you might be able to skip if that does not apply to you. Do you get enough natural sunlight? That's a very big question, a very important question, I should say, because sunlight is as crucial as sleep and water and proper food. That's actually one of the, which I'm going to be going through in a minute here, the foundations of physical health is getting enough sunlight. Do you get outside to enjoy nature regularly? Nature is another one of those things that I think is foundational, and it's not talked about enough, which is why I talk about it a lot. If you've been following this channel, you know how much I talk about connecting with nature, and I've got some other videos on that if you're interested in learning more about that. Do you follow a daily self-care routine? That's the other foundation besides, well, see, the thing is, the routine that you do every day is what contains all of the things that I'm talking about. So that is the overarching theme of how you build a lifestyle. And it's called self-care because I truly believe that everything that we do daily, regularly, on a regular basis, is for your self-care, and it's crucial. Do you meditate? How often do you do that? That's a pretty important one as well. And meditation is not just sitting in one place without thinking. It doesn't always have to be that way. There are so many ways to meditate, and I've done videos on that if you're interested in learning more about meditation, if you're a beginner, because that's pretty crucial for your mental wellness. How often do you read or create art? So expression and expanding your mind are important for mental health, and that's just one good example right there. How often do you do stress-reducing activities? Because stress is the biggest killer when it comes down to the core reason for why illnesses and disease happen. It's usually because of stress. So the more you can reduce your stress, you will also improve your sleep, you will also improve your digestion, and you will improve your immunity. Everything, it's like a trickle-down effect. If you work on your stress, everything else will benefit. Do you live harmoniously with others? So that would involve if you have a partner, if you have quality support system as far as friendships, coworkers, family members. What you don't want is toxic relationships. You don't want relationships that drain you. And this is a big one for mental health especially. How often do you travel? So you might not think that one's very important, and actually it might not be that important to you. You might be one of those people that feels like you have everything fulfilling in your life where you are. You might not need to travel. Like you might not feel it in your soul that you really want to travel, although most people that do travel say that that is how they have grown the most, where they'll actually say things like, traveling taught them more about life than school did. And so I'm a really big proponent of travel if you can handle it. It is a stressful thing in some situations depending on the types of travel, but traveling is good for you, for most people, I should say. Do you feel aligned with your life purpose? This is a big one. This is a big one for spiritual wellness, because if you feel like life has no meaning, then you are probably not going to be spiritually healthy. And that's going to probably trickle down into your mental wellness and your physical wellness. They've actually done studies about life purpose where they've proven that people are happier and healthier if they live their life purpose. And that does not have to be a job. It can be a mission. It can be a lifestyle. It can be any way that you choose to express yourself in the world, as long as you are being authentic and genuine with who you are. Do you feel connected to Source or God? And that could be whatever you want it to be. And that's the spiritual part of holistic wellness, where it's really up to you what you want to I don't want to say worship, what you want to honor, if you want to be more into the nature spirituality type thing, or if you are in a religion. You being connected to whatever your higher power is going to be very crucial for your spiritual wellness. And then the last question is, how often do you write in a journal or diary? So that's a big one, because I'm a really big proponent of journaling. I believe that that's one of the best ways that we can improve our health in all three aspects, all three: body, mind, and soul. because journaling is good for stress reduction. It's good for your mental health because it helps you express your feelings. And it's good for spiritual reasons because it helps you learn who you are and it helps you feel connected to yourself. And when you are connected to yourself, of course, you're going to feel more connected to other people and you're going to feel more connected to the universe. So after you fill out that questionnaire, then you will find out which section you are lacking in. So the next part of this is to focus on your physical health. If your physical health is good, then that's great. If it's not good, that's where you should start. So work on your physical health first if this is an area where you need help. So in the free printables that you will get if you sign up, you will get the Foundations of Health daily checklist. So there's 3 of them, of course, one for physical, one for mental, and one for spiritual. So the physical aspects would be sleep, water, food, sunlight, movement, and air. And these printables will go more into detail with those. And I've actually got lots of videos about this information, so it's in a lot of places. So that's basically where you want to start first, is with the physical health part of it. If your physical health is not good and you get that taken care of, then you can move on to mental health and then spiritual health. And then once you go in that order, then you will come to the end. And then if, going back to the original question, if your physical health is good and you do not need to work on that anymore, that is where you would move on to the mental health, if necessary. So you might be good in all of these areas. You might be good in just a couple. So once you get your physical health good and your mental health good, then you can move on to the spiritual health if necessary. And then you will come to the same conclusion of being holistically healthy. And that is what the goal is. So these are my free holistic wellness printables that I'm going through in this video. And you'll also get a body and mind and soul goals sheet, and that is for you to take whichever sections that you need help with and start with your biggest goal and write that down, and that's where you start. And these checklists will also help you. So there is a link in the description to sign up for all of these free printables that I went through. And if you want to learn more about it, I've got this video here that will go even deeper. And be sure to subscribe and you will get all future videos where I talk about holistic wellness and building a healthy holistic lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching.